Hello, how are you? I'm Noemi Banchi from the Blue Mountains in Sydney, Australia. And well, we are going to talk about Hilarion in Rome today. And the reason why we are talking about Hilarion is because I, with a group of friends, I went to Rome and I went to study with Ruben Cedenio and Fernando Candiotto and many other friends to discover all the places, all in situ. We went there to see, to smell, to absorb all these places where Hilarion was walking, talking, and this is, let me just show you. Okay. Yes, that's correct. Well, so Hilarion. Well, let's start talking about Paul of Tarsus. Have you heard about Paul of Tarsus? And about Hilarion? So Ruben Cedenio says, Master Hilarion is the director of the fifth green ray of truth, the truth, life, and link. Well, link more, this is my translation actually from Spanish into English. A better term is bonding, is the relationship between two people. And he was Paul of Tarsus. So when we say Paul of Tarsus, or when we know in metaphysics, we are talking about Master Hilarion. So this is what you see here. So we are seeing two pictures of the same person, different names. On the left hand side, we see Paul of Tarsus. On the right hand side, we see the image of Master Hilarion made by Frank Alvarado. He's an artist, Venezuelan artist, who paints under the direction of Ruben Cedenio, paints beings of light. So let's observe these two pictures. What do you see? About Paul of Tarsus, we see what we see. I will say the first thing I see is a book. A book represents the teaching. And what else? On the other hand, a saw. That saw is the representation of cutting off what? Negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative words, negative actions with that sword. And look at his expression. Is he smiling? He's more serious. And we are going to see why he has his appearance, his personality. When we talk about ascended masters, people, let's say, tend to imagine that they are all talking with a nice, soft voice, and is not always the case. They are strong, they speak the truth, and that's why you see the image of St. Paul with that face. Let's see. Do you remember we saw last week we talk about the 7 aspects of the totality of life. We talk about the unknown teaching, which is metaphysics. People don't know what metaphysics is. The 7 aspects of the totality of life, 7. First, the blue ray, goodwill. The second, golden ray, wisdom. The third, pink ray, love. The fourth, white ray, harmony. The fifth, green ray, truth. This is the ray where in which Hilarion works. The fifth, green ray. And I was reading one of the comments. Someone says, I've never heard about the fifth ray, the fifth green ray. Of course, but this is unknown. This is new. The fifth green ray is the truth. And then the sixth gold ruby ray, prosperity, and the seventh violet ray, forgiveness. So, and as you see today, today's Thursday. So on Thursday, if you want to connect with the truth, always wear something green. And I always say this, if you don't lie, truth will protect you. But you must not lie. Paul of Tarsus by Rubén Cedeño. Master Hilarion is the director of the fifth green ray of truth, life, with bonding, and he was Paul of Tarsus. His original name was Saul. Paul was Hellenized diaspora Jew, citizen of the Roman Empire. He was born in the year 10 in Tarsus, the capital of Cilicia, in what now we know as Turkey. Okay, we are going to see a map so we can localize where he was born. His heritage was that of a wealthy and well-educated family from the tribe of Benjamin, originating from northern Galilee near the lake Tiberias. So if you can see the map, I hope you can see clearly. We have Italy. This is what we are going to talk during this activity. Take Italy, then what else you can see in the map? Tarsus where Hilarion was born. Jerusalem is when a lot of things happen in Jerusalem. And Damascus, I just marked Damascus because it's where Paul was transformed, or his change. He transformed there. Yes, he changed, and we are going to see why he changed Damascus. So just to have an idea, Paul was born in Tarsus, and because he was born in Tarsus, he had the right of being a Roman Empire. A Roman citizen. And then he moved to Jerusalem. So he was traveling around. Paul of Tarsus, Rubén Cedeño, says this: when the Roman invaded the area of Jerusalem, Paul's family relocated to Tarsus, a prosperous port city. Those who were born in Tarsus had the right to Roman citizenship. This is what we said. So Paul exercised that right when he needed it. At one point, he was accused and he said, okay, I am a Roman citizen. I need to see the emperor. And this is why he went to Rome. And this is what Master Hilarion says. In Jesus' time, we are talking about 2,000 years ago, I, Master Hilarion, was incarnated as Saul of Tarsus, who later became known as Paul. I was, Master Hilarion, was educated in every branch of biblical study, able to recite the scriptures by heart, and knew all the prophecies of Isaiah, Jeremiah, and others. I was a member of that proud and arrogant sect that believed the Messiah would emerge or would be a warrior. So many people had that, they were saying that they were the Messiah. So the most educated people were among them Paul. They were studying all these people and to see if they were the true one. Let's say there were a lot of fake messiahs around, because people knew that Jesus was coming, but they didn't know